So you guys have been warned. Secondly, I'm going to mute everybody just so we can reduce some background noise and some of the issues we've had with sound. So starting now, everybody is muted. So if you would like to speak, you will have to unmute yourself, and you can do that by hovering over the bottom of your screen, the little microphone. If you are calling into the meeting, you will do that by pressing *6 to unmute yourself. Those are all my rules. So pass it over to you, Rep Morgan. Oh, you're muted. Sorry, I muted you.
Got it. Want to thank you all for coming out again. These meetings have been very informative for us, and you guys have given us a lot to think about over the last couple of weeks, and we truly appreciate that. And we're going to continue on. How are you guys liking the guest speakers? Because I know, this virtual versus being in person is different, but are you guys, are you getting an appreciation for their guest speakers and what they're bringing out? Anyone?
You'll have to unmute yourself. Remember, it's at the bottom on the little bar.
Yeah, I really liked the guys last week. They were so informative, especially about residential zoning and those two issues that I had mentioned in the neighborhood that were structurally and those that were blocking right-of-way traffic were awesome guys. And I know they already got my email, and I believe they're already working on the issues, and they were just so personable. And I had never even heard really of that department. I mean, I heard of streets. Yeah, I've heard of streets and, of course, CID and everything. But those guys, they're right dressed right. They got a really great program running over there, and you can tell that everybody is involved, and they take everything seriously. So that was really informative.
Well, I would tell you, planning and inspection is probably one of the most important departments in there, because nothing in the city moves without them. If you build something, you need to go there. If you're going to make an improvement to your property, you need to go to them. And they're one-stop shop. And I know Lindsay keeps this in the newsletter on a regular basis. That one-stop shop is absolutely fantastic. Okay. Like, you have any questions about permitting or anything, hopefully the Bets got their situation taken care of. I see Vanessa on the line, and I know you guys had a question about the shed. Did you guys get that taken care of?
You're muted, Miss Betts. I don't know if she's able to.
Okay, not a problem.
I know that they called her, and I know that they reached out. I know that for sure.
Okay. All right. We just want to make sure. All right. Hey, Debbie, how is the census coming along? I know we're on a short final.
It's the Complete Count Committee is really trying to do some last minute activities to encourage participation. There have been some that have been, there have been a couple of good activities at the last one I went to was over at, I believe it's called Father Ron Park in Segundo Barrio.
Yes.
And that one was really very effective, because they had the folks from Animal Services out, and they were giving free vaccines to people's pets. And the census people were there at the same time, as well as the folks from voter registration.
Okay.
So that was, the Animal Services was really the draw. And so that there was a great crowd. And so then that was able to spill over into, into the census folks and the voter registration folks. So, but they are encouraging, doing some last minute thrusts. All 9 school districts are participating and on board.
Okay.
And of course, there's only like 6 days left to do the census. So, we just need that final push, really, so that, we can get the dollars.
Okay. Well, I want you to know that I reached out to Deputy City Manager Weston today and asked him to help us out with the Fort Bliss piece, because I know you were mentioning that the soldiers for whatever reason, soldiers don't think that they're part of a community, but they are. They drive on our streets, they use our infrastructure, they use our services. So he and I are trying to come up with a quick plan to make sure that folks from Fort Bliss know that they can do the census and they can do it online. Just so you know, we have a VAC, a veterans a group that helps us with a lot of getting the word out to Fort Bliss. I'll be reaching out to Lance Lear tonight after this call. He reached out to me earlier today, but I was unavailable. But I will reach back out to him tonight, as well as our local veteran person with the city, and see what we can do. Now, the question I had for you is whatever. Obviously, we're down to the last 6 days. So, do you want me to make sure that they're all going to the website? Because I did it on the website, but I still had someone show up at my door, and I gave them another interview in person. And I thought that was kind of redundant.
Yeah. That you're not the first person who has had this happen with the folks showing up at the door after they've already done the census. And I don't think that at this point there's any way that we can make that change as far as the enumerators showing up at folks' doors. So really the easiest thing is just to do it online. Now, of course, for those folks who don't have access to electronic access, well then probably going by phone would be easy. I believe I've got a number that they can call locally where they can also report. Let me look on my phone and I'll put it in the chat room.
Okay.
And that way, that's another option that they can use. It's a local number.
Okay, Lindsay, make sure you get that, and if she doesn't get it in before we're done, make sure you get it once we get off. Okay. Yeah. So we can push that out. Yeah, it'd be too easy. It's a little easier to spread information on Fort Bliss like that than it is to do anything else, because these folks are part of our community and they need to understand that the dollars that we get from the federal government impact everyone in the community, to include Fort Bliss. So thank you for that, Debbie. I appreciate it.
Yes, and thank you for reaching out to the folks at Fort Bliss. Thank you.
Too easy, no problem. All right, Lindsay, what else was top of brain on you?
Yeah, I have a couple announcements, and then we can get into constituent questions. Did you have a question about the census, Kim?
Yeah. Did you talk to? Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Did y'all talk to Army Community Service?
ACS?
Yeah.
No. We're talking with Garrison.
Garrison. Are you? Okay, because ACS will send out all of that to their entire Facebook page. They will put that on every Facebook page they have. The main number to ACS is 568-4227. And you will talk to someone in information and referral, and you can actually ask for the division chief, and I will, her name is Miss Thomas Maynor. But they blast out all of 1AD's information, all of Garrison's, and all these families subscribe to the ACS Facebook page and the new parenting Facebook page and all of that. So that's another outlet, so to speak.
That's good info. So you said ACS 568-4227, info and referral, Mrs. Thomas Maynor?
She was my big chief. She's the division chief. Yes, sir.
All right. Lindsay, we'll go ahead and just type that up and get that sent out to
just because those go out every week and they have thousands of people following it.
All right, thank you. Good info. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, Lindsay, announcement?
Yes. So I have a lot of announcements actually, so just bear with me. The first one, if you all weren't aware, we've been putting out in our newsletter, the city does have Wi-Fi centers that are available to you all. If your children or grandchildren are needing Wi-Fi to do schooling, or if you need Wi-Fi, I know with a lot of the libraries closed and you don't have Wi-Fi at home, you can use those centers. The closest one to Northeast is actually in District 2. And it's off of Maxwell. at the Willington Chew Recreation Center, or I'm sorry, Senior Center. So please, if you need that, that's the closest one to you. But all the information's in our newsletter if you want to visit some of the other locations citywide. The second thing on my list, today at 3, they had a press conference in regards to COVID. Our numbers are spiking again. They're thinking this was due to the Labor Day holiday. So people got together and so our numbers are increasing again, which isn't good. So please just continue to do all the precautions, wash your hands, wear a mask. You guys know the drill. We actually lost somebody in her 20s today. So that's kind of scary. You know, it's sad when anybody passes away, but we've been seeing a lot of 80s and 90-year-olds, and now we're starting to see 20 and 30-year-olds. So please take this seriously. Please wear your mask, and we will get through this eventually. Yeah. The next thing on my reminders list was the census, but we already talked about that. So just reminder, you have 6 days left to fill out your census. Please do so. It is required by law, and it helps us get more funding into our community, just like we did. Did you have a question, Ms. Betts?
You're muted.
She's muted, but let me see. It doesn't let me unmute you, so you'll have to click the little microphone button. There we go.
Okay. Previously, I believe I did the census, and my daughter did it online. How do you verify that? I mean, you don't want to be redundant and do it again, but we sat at the table and did it online together as a family. But I just want to be sure that is there a way to know if you're actually been counted in, or do I do it again, or just assume that, yeah, she did it right, or what?
Debbie, do you have an answer to that?
Actually, I don't believe that there is a way to verify, but let me double check on that. I'm not positive. I know that I didn't get, any kind of an email or anything when I did mine online. So let me find out, and then I will feed back to you, Lindsay, if that's okay.
Okay.
Perfect. That's perfect. I'll get the information out. Okay, that's a good question. Thank you, Mrs. Betts. So yeah, do your census. The next update I have is about the election. I wanted to remind you guys of a couple things. If you're not registered to vote, which I'm sure everybody in this group is, but if you're not, you have till October 5th to do so. On top of that, important election dates, if you are wanting to do the absentee ballot, they're starting to mail them out tomorrow. So you need to request it ASAP because they're already going to be mailing them out, and then you need to fill it out and return it as soon as possible.
Need help filling it out? I'll be more than happy to come by and help you with that.
Also, with Election Day, I want to let you all know of an item that's coming up to council. On Tuesday, Rep. Morgan put up an item for Election Day. As you all know, it's obviously November 3rd, but council will be voting on a resolution on Tuesday, ensuring that all city employees are granted 2 hours off to be able to go vote on Election Day. So it's a really positive thing. We just want to make sure that everyone is encouraged to go vote. So this will allow the city manager to allow them up to 2 hours off to go and vote on Election Day. So that'll be coming on Tuesday at council. Another item coming on to council on Tuesday was brought forward by Rep. Rivera, but it's still beneficial for you all if you all can tune into city council. Lisa Wise, who is the county elections administrator, will be giving a presentation on all the ins and outs of the election. So if you have any questions about that, she will be presenting at council on Tuesday. So please tune in if you can, which brings me to my next reminder. If you guys don't already know, council.
Hold up 1 second here. Hey, what I would like you all to do is, sorry, Lynch, but I just wanted to make sure that I don't lose this train of thought. What you guys can all do to help us out here is get your folks to pay attention to this Tuesday council meeting. I mean, we've got Lisa Wise there, and she's going to be giving out a lot of good information. Okay, so if you guys can help us out, spread the word, let people know that they really need to pay attention, and if they have public comment or anything, they need to sign up in advance. Even though the meeting's not until 3:30 in the afternoon, we still have that early morning requirement to sign up, okay? So help us out, get the word out. And this is the time to ask those hard questions, because our office is getting flooded with, when am I getting my ballot, this and that. You know, there's just no one way to hit all the people in El Paso. So the best way to do it is through word of mouth, okay? Just your family, your friends. Help us out. Thanks, Lindsay. Go ahead.
Yes. Really quick, I'm sorry, but Mr. Gomez, you took control of the meeting, so if you could stop that control, that would be great, because we can see your entire screen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did that work?
There we go. Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about that. Alrighty. My next announcement was about City Council as well. In case you all weren't aware, now instead of beginning at 9 a.m., it begins at 3:30 p.m. So if you guys would like to join in, if you tune in at 9, you're going to have to wait a while until it starts. It won't begin until 3:30. And you all know how to get there, hopefully. If not, let us know. We'll help you get to that meeting. It's streamed on a lot of different platforms. And then I just got an update. Actually, right now, I just came through the email about our guest speaker for next week. I don't know if, Brett Morgan, you want to announce that? It's who we discussed this morning. He confirmed with me literally 5 minutes ago. Okay, so next week, as you all know, we meet weekly with our community meetings, but next week we'll have a guest speaker, as we do every other week. And our guest speaker next week will be Tommy Gonzalez. So we'd love for you all to be out here. Ask him the hard questions. He'll be our guest speaker next week. Same time, same place. So that'll be good. We'll make sure to put all that information out there so you don't forget, but I just wanted to let you all know because I just got the confirmation that he'll be there. So,
hey, Kim, don't shake your head. Your opportunity to to ask questions, okay? Be civil. Now, but hey, I decided on Tommy Gonzalez because it's the right time. You know, you guys keep asking a lot of questions about projects, the delays. Kim, you've had all the projects about Redstone and Joy Barrazo and Vino Park. So why not bring the person on that can answer all of your questions at one time, okay? So next week, it's going to be Tommy Gonzalez. Spread the word far and wide. And I'll throw some red meat in there for you guys.
Okay, I will make a synopsis of just a quick little note so that I can just fire him at him.
It's up to you.
But you know how I am. I'm very civil.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks for doing that, Sam. I know he has a really hard schedule, so thanks for doing that.
Not a problem. You know, you guys were asking. You know, this is why we have these meetings, so we can find out who you all want to talk to and who do you want to hear from. And all the questions that kept coming up, they kept going back to the city manager. You know?
Yeah, I want to know about his promotion. You know, did he take it or did he pass over it, just like the city attorney? So that's one of my questions. But I'm going to leave it like that.
Okay. I don't know nothing about it. Jack,
love you, Sam.
Love you too.
Morgan, did you want to talk about the food bank?
Yes. Okay. Obviously, last week we talked about, you know, people in our community that are in need. I took a tour of the food bank 2 weeks ago, and it blew my mind. I mean, cars 3-4 wrapped around the blocks, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and that's an industrial park area. So those are some big blocks. But the people are waiting in line to get, you know, one shopping cart full of food. And one of the things they asked me was to help them find a location in the Northeast that was suitable for a Northeast food bank, because all of you aren't aware of it, but Katie's Food Pantry, whom we had a very good, close relationship with, they stopped operations on the 5th of the month. Okay, and anyone who's been over there off of Kenworthy and Sun Valley knows that, you know, that church over there is was really providing a lot of service for the Northeast community, but they just didn't have the volunteers, and they just burnt out the volunteers. So no food bank pantry in the Northeast. Okay, but what we were able to do was find the Nolan Richardson Rec Center. It's just outside of the Northeast boundaries, but it's a lot closer than everything else that was available, because veterans would have been the perfect place to have it, but because veteran is working on like a half cycle right now, and they're doing a lot of sporting activities. If you go out there, you can see people out there. It's just not going to accommodate the food bank. So it's going to be at the Nolan Richardson Rec Center off of Lindsay Maxwell.
Yes.
Okay, off of Maxwell. It's one street over from Hondo Pass. Like I said, it's just outside of our district, but it was close enough to make sure that the folks in the Northeast are still having access versus having to drive all the way out to Loop 375 to the Lower Valley, okay? So make sure you let your folks know that. We'll get you guys some more information on when they're going to start operations, but it's going to be relatively fast, okay? So Northeast families can get the food as well, okay?
Yes, so that's actually, council will take action on that on Tuesday to ratify the lease with El Pasoans Fighting Hunger in the city. And then as soon as that is voted on, they'll be able to let you know what day they open and their hours and all of that. But there are still some options. I know some churches in the Northeast and different groups have come together to do the same thing, just because there is a great need for food in our community. So I just want to let you guys know of those if you or someone you know needs food now and today. Starting this Saturday, well, I guess this Saturday only, Katie's Food Pantry will be open for one last food distribution. It's the very last one, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday. So if you know anybody, that's the closest available one in Northeast. And then Hillcrest Baptist Church is also doing one on October 1st and October 15th. They will be doing a food distribution, and that is from 1 to 5 p.m. at Hillcrest Baptist Church. I don't have, 4710 Hercules. So it's a little bit outside of Northeast, but it's at least closer than, like he said, driving all the way to the Loop. And then last but not least, Mr. Sturgis shared with us that they're also doing a community food pantry starting on Wednesday, October 7th, every Wednesday after that, from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at 5501 Wren, which is Grace Presbyterian Church. Is that correct, Mr. Sturgis?
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted. He's muted.
Can you
There you
hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, that's at the, it's sponsored by Grace Presbyterian Church and the other churches in El Paso, the Presbyterians, but it's located at the Tobit Bark Methodist Church.
Got it. Okay. So the address.
We have that location leased for this, but it's under the Grace Presbyterian Church as far as the period, and then the other Presbyterian churches in El Paso are helping out.
Perfect. Okay, so
it'll be every Wednesday, each month. I mean, every Wednesday of all months from here on out. It's not very much, but at least it's better than nothing.
Yes, sir. We
Absolutely.
appreciate that info. Thank you.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Yeah, so there's lots of opportunities if you know somebody that needs food. Also, El Pasoans Fighting Hunger is also doing a program. If you know somebody that can't go to a center to pick up food, they can call El Pasoans Fighting Hunger and have it delivered. And they're also doing a new initiative. If you know somebody that needs pet food, they've partnered with El Paso Animal Services to give out pet food for the community as well. So lots of resources. I know it's a lot of information, so you can just call our office and we can help you sort out the part that applies to you. So please don't hesitate to do that.
Please don't.
That's all the announcements, unless you have anything else, Rep. Morgan.
No. You pretty much covered everything. We pretty much covered it all.
Okay.
Angela, go ahead.
We have
Glenn.
some questions in the chat. I don't know if you want to start with those.
Okay. Before we start with the questions, Angela, is there anything else that has come up? I know you're fielding a lot of calls these days, and some of them are not so good, and some of them are great. But anything you want to share with our constituents?
As of right now, no, nothing. I'm just the filter.
Okay.
She's a very good filter.
You're a good filter. Thank you. All right, Lindsay, go ahead with questions.
Well, that's always a really good chance to remind everybody that you can call our office. We're often in meetings or on the other line, so if we don't answer right away, leave us a voicemail and we'll call you right back. we're working from home, so we don't have the same awesome phone system that we had at City Hall. So leave a voicemail. We'll definitely call you back. But anyway,
Definitely.
so we'll go into the first question. It's from Monica. Hopefully she's still on the line. Her first question is number 1. Would like to know how the city will handle trick-or-treating? I don't know if you want to take that, Sam, or.
Well, I'm not sure like how the city's going to handle trick or treating. I think it has a lot to do with the individual residents, how they're going to treat it more than anything else. But I would ask, try to practice social distancing as best you can. But has the city put anything officially out that I'm not aware of? Okay, I didn't think so. I would just tell everyone, to use your common sense and good judgment. Make sure you're wearing your face mask, and most kids are going to have some type of mask on anyhow. But you got to just practice safe hygiene or clean hygiene and social distancing. We'll see if the city's going to put out anything, but as of right now, the city hasn't put out anything regarding trick-or-treating at this time.
Yeah, my guess is going to be that the week before, the health authority will make an announcement on it, and it will probably largely depend on our numbers at the time. So we don't have an answer now, but probably in the coming weeks we'll have an answer, and we'll put that information in our newsletter.
Right, for sure.
Okay, her second question is an update on libraries.
Okay. Is it the same person?
Yes, she has 3 questions, so
Okay.
just ask them individually.
Well, Monica, if you're not aware, we're working on trying to focus on opening up the downtown library, but none of the periphery libraries are going to be opened up. But what we do is have curbside service, especially here in the Northeast. You can go to our library. We got the bookmobile, we got curbside service, and you can still have access to the books and the resources that you want. But you're not going to have access to the actual facility itself. Anything else on that, Lindsay?
No, the staff is working on trying to figure out the best way to reopen libraries. It was part of our phase 1 of reopening, but then we had a huge spike in numbers, and so the city kind of retracted that. And I want to remind everybody that these decisions are made through the health authority. So council does play a role in that, but it's a group of people that comes together to make these decisions. And we understand like the need that the library is, and that's why we opened curbside service. But right now it's just too much of a risk to have it open, especially Richard Burgess. It's the most populated library in all of our library systems. So we're just trying to do the best for the community. And I know it's frustrating, but staff, we got an update yesterday because we had a constituent call about this. And I know staff mentioned that they're hoping to have an update on that like by next week. So we'll probably have some more better news by next week on that.
Yeah, and remember we have council on Tuesday, and that question gets asked at every council meeting by one rep or another, and I'll bring it up this week. So we'll see if we can get you guys something before next week.
Absolutely. And then the third and final question from Monica is, would like for Dr. Morgan to explain why he doesn't vote for releasing COVID-19 clusters in our city.
Why I don't vote for it?
Yeah.
Okay, because the Attorney General of Texas gave an opinion paper that said it would do more harm than good. Most of that data that you're looking for releasing clusters is something that has already happened in the past. Remember, the incubation period for the COVID-19 virus is only 14 days. So if you're asking us to go back in time and start releasing stuff from 3-4 months ago, you could do irreparable damage to businesses that are no longer in that cluster world. So remember, the span is only 14 days, folks. Okay, and what people are asking for is cluster information to be released from almost 4 months ago. That doesn't make sense. In my opinion, you're going to hurt small businesses more than you're going to help them. And it's not fair to single out anyone. We as a government shouldn't single out any one community or population of people and basically impact their livelihood.
Yes, and on top of that, the city does through the Economic Development Department has encouraged all businesses to self-disclose. And so that's why you're seeing, I don't know if you guys get the news updates on your phone or anything, but like almost every day I'm getting something like employee at Target test positive or employee at whatever. So a lot of those businesses are disclosing for their own, for their own sake.
And
So-
and also the city has a cluster map, or what they refer to as a heat map on our website, and you can go there and take a look at it as well.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on, but everybody keeps taking control. So Nancy, if you could give me back control, that'd be great.
What?
Can you click right there where it says stop presenting, please? Sorry, y'all, for the delay. While she does that, the next question, there we go. The next question is from Joe Molinar, who will be sponsoring the new food bank. And that is through El Pasoans Fighting Hunger is doing the food bank, the one at Nolan Richardson.
Yeah, El Paso's Fighting Hunger. I mean, they have, if you all haven't had an opportunity to go out there, the amount of space that they have and what they do is phenomenal. However, it's one site, one location, and what they're trying to do is get sub-sites all around the city to make sure that folks have access to food. So El Paso's Fighting Hunger are the sponsors. The city is just allowing them to use a city facility that is not in use right now, and because it meets the size requirement, it meets the location requirement, it meets all of our requirements. Hopefully that answered your question.
Perfect. I'm sorry, one more time. Can you stop presenting, Nancy, so I can take back control? I'm so sorry, y'all.
You need to fix that.
There we go. Okay. Oh no, she hung up. Hopefully she'll come back. Okay, sorry about that. The next question is from Kim says, Fort Bliss will wait for this, what the city says. What was that in reference to, Kim?
Trick or treating.
Oh,
First
okay.
Armor Division put out a blurb 2 days ago, and they are waiting for the official word from City Council or the Dr. or Gonzo, or I can't pronounce his last name. And then they will make the decision, because I know a lot of people like to come on to post, but it's also still at FPCon Charlie. So there's only so many gates open and things of that sort, and a lot of things have been shut down. So they're waiting literally for what the city's going to say. And then you can see that information on First Armor Division's Facebook. They will put that blurb out.
Okay. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
All right. The next comment is from Joe Molinar. In years past, EPPD Sex Offender Unit will be monitoring sex offenders' houses to see if they have Halloween decorations out in order to possibly entice children. So that's good to know. That's referring to trick-or-treating. So that's good to know that EPPD is active in that. Hopefully that won't be an issue, but you never know.
Thank you, Joe. That's good info right there. We probably put something like that in our newsletter too.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one is from Kim again. The shopping center with Chick-fil-A has so many stop signs missing, called River Oaks. Okay, yeah, it's a private property. We can reach out to River Oaks as well to kind of help them fix that. I'll make a note to reach out to River Oaks, but it is private property, so
yeah, I called them and sent them pictures of every single one that's missing. They said that they're aware of the problem, that people steal the stop signs all the time, but there's so many that have been stolen that literally nobody stops, like at the Chick-fil-A and Chipotle crossway right there. Those two were stolen. The one going out to Gateway stolen. There's one behind Wendy's that's stolen. So literally nobody's stopping, and it's, I mean, really unsafe. Because a lot of people, there's a blind spot like behind Chipotle going around that corner, but they'll just blow through and people will almost T-bone right in front of Chipotle and Chick-fil-A. They're literally all gone.
All right, we'll get on that.
I sent her an email, the property manager herself, and took pictures, and she's like, I'll be out there. And then I followed up and I've left her voicemails.
Can you forward any of those emails or your most recent email to Lindsay and let us take a stab at it?
Sure. I will have to look for them. I actually sent it from the city email when I was working.
Okay.
So I don't think I can access that account anymore, sir. I can tell you who I talked to, but I was just very polite because I was concerned for all of our constituents who, may get T-boned out there, and it's just become literally they're stealing every single one of them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. It is, and there's a lot of homeless now, Rep Morgan there.
What?
At North Hills Crossing?
Mm-hmm. And at Walgreens.
Really?
Yeah. They'll be sitting out there. I went to Walgreens and was kind of accosted by two of them asking for money. I mean, I feel really bad, but.
So we actually have we just opened up a homeless center with CARES dollars.
Yep.
So we'll make sure that our team from community development is out there letting them know that they have a place to go. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I hadn't seen an uptick, but if you're noticing it, that means it's going up. So we'll take care of that.
They're Rep Morgan at the Trans Mountain and Gateway South and Gateway North intersections where they did the new roundabout to go to Lowe's.
Yes.
There's a couple that's there. Literally, I mean, like for years they've been there, and now there's some other gentlemen, and they're there every day. And they have a thing of trash, that's piled up, and they have a dog and everything like that. So they're there every day on one of those corners.
We do have ordinance against that, so thank you. We can enforce those.
Okay, thank you. I try not to be a bearer of bad news, but I worry about them too.
Of course.
They deserve a good, home cooked meal and a clean bed to lay on.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Got a kind heart, lady.
Yeah, and our team at community development does a good job of trying to get the information out, but we can't force anybody into a shelter, so that's where it kind of gets difficult. And as long as the private property owners aren't making them leave, there's only so much we can do. So, but I will have community development go out there and we can talk to Nicole Rep Morgan and see what she can do to help.
Okay.
Okay. That's all the questions I have in the chat. So I guess we can open it to anybody that wants to ask a question verbally. You'll have to unmute yourself if you're on the phone. *6 to unmute yourself.
Okay. I just lost you, Lance. Are you there?
Yes. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Gotcha now. Gotcha.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So on the, the ones that Kim was just talking about, with that community service that you have, are you going to check to see if any of them are veterans? Because we do get a lot of veterans that want to hang on the street.
Yeah, I second that with Beth. I felt bad asking, but I was at a stoplight for a really long time, and he said that he doesn't feel comfortable going to a shelter. I think he's got a lot of PTSD. He's an older gentleman with a dog, and he said they wouldn't let him in with his dog, and he wasn't going anywhere without his dog.
I will tell you, Beth, that a lot of the homeless that are out here are veterans, and we are attempting to talk to them through our VAC, Veterans Advisory Council, and the thing that Kim just said about these vets not wanting to go, we can't make them go. That's the only thing we can do is really ask them to move on and not panhandle on the streets. But we can't force them into, unless they're violent towards someone else or harming themselves. And that's a good question because a lot of the ones that I've encountered are veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's why we formed this committee that we have right now. And we have some really good veterans on the committee. Former command sergeant majors of Fort Bliss, a former lieutenant colonel who runs a women's veteran shelter here in the Northeast, and Reggie Daniels, who's a very strong advocate for veterans. So this is probably the strongest veteran advisory board we've ever assembled for the city. So they're working on that.
You're talking about Hope with the Women's Center, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Hope Jackson.
All right. Okay. So the next question I have is the Nolan Richardson place. What time is it going to open, or what day you're looking at it opening?
For the food bank? I don't know if
Yes.
it got cut off, but I can answer that. So council's taking action on that on Tuesday, so they have to ratify the contract with El Pasoans Fighting Hunger for the use of the facility. And then once that's ratified, they'll send out all the information. So we don't have that yet, but I'm assuming it will probably be open either 5 to 7 days a week and probably for most of the day.
Okay.
So.
And then the pet food, you said there was a pet food pantry?
Yes. So those ones are events. El Pasoans Fighting Hunger just did an event today for that. But if you know somebody that needs pet food, they can call and request it, and then they can pick it up either at El Pasoans Fighting Hunger or at Animal Services.
And who do they call?
They call El Pasoans Fighting Hunger, and let me get you that phone number. Let's see. Angela, can you get me that phone number so I can keep answering questions and we'll come back to it? Awesome, thanks.
Okay, so my next thing, just one second. Kim, you might like this. I was doing this for Tommy Gonzalez.
Uh-oh. You're muted, Kim.
I can't see Rep Morgan. Is he still on?
Yeah, he's still on. I'm not sure what happened. I'm getting him back. So
I'm
he'll
right
be back.
here.
Okay. Beth,
Okay.
That's something.
Beth,
I have
if you
the
want,
phone
if you want
number
to
if you
use
guys
that
want
rolled
it
up
ready.
newspaper, you're going to have to wait till next week, okay?
All right. Beth, did you have any
Okay,
other
did you get that
questions?
number?
Miss Beth, I have that number.
Just need that phone number. Yeah,
Yes. It's
there is one more
915
thing. That new, yes?
212-8735. And there's also an
Okay.
email if you would like that as well.
Yes, go ahead.
It's Pet Helpline spelled out at elpasotexas.gov. And
El
El
Paso,
Paso,
Texas,
Texas is
spelled out?
spelled out. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next question I have is about the Newman Project 6. Is there any way that you can give me a little bit of information on that?
Are you talking about the gas fracking?
Yeah, the supposed fracking.
Yeah, it's supposed as of now. What everyone seems to be getting concerned about is the possibility that the Newman plant might actually be doing gas fracking. But like I said, we finally effectuated the deal with El Paso Electric, and we will be getting information on all the projects that they plan on having. Remember, although the electric company was not owned by the city, it's always been a private entity. You guys know you could buy stock and traded it on the on the open market. It's just got El Paso's name attached to it, so it's never been the city's. It's never been something that we as a city has owned. It's never been part of municipality. Okay. But as we get more information on this gas fracking that everyone seems to be concerned about right now, we'll push it out to you. There's nothing that I can tell you that's going to impact you within the next 6 months to a year. Okay?
Yeah, and since JP Morgan's bought El Paso Electric, I thought they were going to be part of that. Now, is it a continued thing, or is it possibly on a freeze?
I don't understand the question. Lindsay?
So, well, JP Morgan didn't buy El Paso Electric. Infrastructure investment firm bought El Paso Electric.
They funded it.
Who?
Infrastructure investment firm, IIF.
Yes.
So JP Morgan is an
Yes.
investor of IIF.
Right.
So that's the
They just-
connection there.
They just happen to have the biggest name, the most known name, so everyone makes assumption that they purchase it. They're just an investor with the company.
But in terms of projects like that, so it's still regulated. So anything like that still has to come to
Through
city
council.
council, but nothing has come forward yet. So we're probably expecting within the next 6 months, something to be put in front of council for that. But as soon as we get information or anything like that, we'll definitely let you all know. We just, right now, it's kind of one of those things where constituents are getting the information and spreading it prior to the actual announcement or actual action being taken. So
And that was
we'll make sure to share everything once we have it.
And that was my point, Beth. It's like the council is a regulatory body to the electric company, and none of this information on a formal basis has been brought to the council. So right now it's hearsay, innuendo, and speculation. Okay, but there's nothing that's been approved yet, especially not by me. Okay.
Okay, one last question.
No.
Did you get the planning for out here on Railroad?
So
especially on that one fence.
Are you talking about that wall again, Beth?
That one fence drives me crazy.
Lindsay gave me an update on it today. Okay, so Lindsay, give her the update, please.
Yes. So staff went out there and looked at it. They haven't gotten back to me their report. They did go out to look at it. So it's a little convoluted because there's the project manager and then the city contracts the service out, and so for construction. So right now their project manager is working with the contractor to figure out if the way they built it falls in line with the plans that the engineer submitted when they got their permits to build. So I know that's kind of a complicated answer.
Yeah.
So, but they are looking into it because they did. I was on the phone with him when he was driving by, and he literally was like, "Oh wow, that one looks a little weird." So, there. So yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I have more of like a solid answer, and not just that they're working on it, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right, and we appreciate your calibrated engineering eye, because even our own engineers think that there might be something wrong. So we can thank Beth for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Beth.
All right, we have a question in the chat. How often do street cleanings occur, and are HOAs included? So I can answer that. As long as the street is a city maintained street, it is included. Even if you're in an HOA, the pavement is still city maintained. So yes, the city does clean them, and they clean every street in El Paso twice per year. Keep in mind, Northeast El Paso by itself has 567 streets. So that's just Northeast. If you think of all of El Paso, which I don't know what that number is, those are all the streets being cleaned. However, if you want to have your street cleaned, you can go onto the 311 app and request a street cleaning. Sometimes there's issues like if someone parks a car that was leaking oil or anything like that, you can request a street cleaning. Just go to 311 or call 311 and just say, I would like to have X, Y, and Z street scheduled for a street sweeping. Just keep in mind, they might not be able to get to it like that day because they are following the list to get every street done twice per year. I hope that answers the question. Joe Molinar was the next question. What is the quote unquote new amount for city representatives effective September 1st, 2020 as per the city charter? So this is as part of the city charter election that took place last year. The El Paso voters voted to give city council a raise, and each year their salary would be determined by the median income of the entire county. So I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if you have that answer, Sam.
No, I don't know what the answer is to that. Not something that I keep a watch out for, but the bottom line is it is going to be based off the median wage of the county. It's just like with the city manager. We look at 5 different cities, comparable size, comparable income, and that's how we determine the salaries. So city council members will get an increase if it goes up, but at the same time, if the median wage goes down, our pay goes down as well. So it's on a floater scale. So what that dollar amount is, I don't know. It's not something that I really thought about or followed. But I do know that if the median is higher than what we're being paid, we will be moved up. If it's lower than what we're paid, our pay goes down. I hope that answers your question, sir.
All right. And then the next thing, Debbie let us know that the local number to complete the census is no longer in service. However, you have options online at my2020census.gov or by phone 844-330-2020. That's in English. If you need Spanish, it's 844-468-2020. If you are hearing or deaf impaired, 844-467-2020. And she's still waiting on the response in terms of knowing if your census was received.
Good info, Debbie. Thank you.
I think that's all the questions so far in the chat. If I miss anybody, please let me know. And any other, oh, Kim, you have your hand raised. I'm so sorry.
I totally forgot what I was going to ask. But
Oh, I'm
okay.
so sorry.
Regarding street cleaning, Elaine and I just happen to live in Redstone, so she's one of us. Whoop, whoop. Anyways, and I love her to death. When we request the street sweeping, do we have to give them the streets, or can they do the whole little neighborhood?
You'll have to request each individual street.
Okay, great, because we've got glass on one, and then somebody's car leaked, like you had mentioned.
Okay.
You know, that car that I told you about last week, that like instantaneously the next day police were out there, and I almost wanted to hug Sergeant Enriquez for getting that stupid abandoned car, but it left like a huge thing of just hazardous, oil or whatever coming from the car.
So my recommendation, if you have different problem areas, I would submit them individually as different requests, so you can keep track of each street as a different 311 number. Okay. And I would put in there, let's say it's Redstone Rim, broken glass in front of, I don't know the numbers out there, but 601 and 602, there's broken glass, just so they know exactly. They'll do the whole street, but so they can kind of focus on the problem areas.
And if the car's blocking, they will just go around parked cars.
Yes. They'll go around it.
That's what I thought. Elaine, if you hear me, you do Redstone Rim, and I'll do all the others.
Perfect.
Hey, I love my neighbors.
Absolutely. And I do want to let you all know, I don't know if you guys know this, it's kind of off topic, but kind of on topic. The Streets and Maintenance Department offers free graffiti removal, even on private residential areas. So let's say, God forbid nothing happens, but let's say somebody graffitis your vehicle, you can call Streets and Maintenance and they will come remove it for free. So that's a service available to constituents. So it's good to know a lot of times rock walls get graffitied. Even if it's on your property, they will come and do it, obviously with your permission. They won't do it unless you request it because they don't want to get in trouble with private property, but that's a free service. A lot of people don't know about it, and it's a really great team. They have the pressure washers that are very sensitive, so it doesn't ruin the integrity of whatever it is that graffiti is on. So I know it's a little off topic, but it's just a good thing to keep in mind. Were there any other questions?
All right.
No.
Well, we brought it in at 58 minutes. I want to thank you guys for coming in and supporting us, because it's important for us to be able to get this information out to you. Even though it's COVID, you guys still have these inquisitive minds, when you ask questions like why and why should I, that's a sign of intelligence. So we got a whole bunch of smart people in the Northeast for sure. But the bottom line is we appreciate you. We appreciate your comment. And as I say all the time, you guys are our eyes and our ears. Just like what Kim was just talking about with Redstone and the broken glass and the broken down car. If we don't know about it, we can't help you with it. But you brought it to our attention, and it was gone within a day or so. So keep that information flowing, and we're going to keep on receiving it and getting you guys the results that we do for you. If we haven't answered your question and we said we'll get back to you, we're going to get back to you on that. Okay. Between Lindsay and Angela and myself, we take some pretty decent notes, and we try to work on getting things done for the community. But with that being said, I want to thank my staff one more time, because I know the work you guys are doing is difficult. And I know a lot of people think it's a lot easier to work from home, but it's not, because we're opened up 24 hours a day. I tell Lindsay to power it down at 11:59 every night.
Sorry, I thought I was mute.
Shut
Oh,
up.
I know she's powered down more than that. She's got her sweet
Yeah,
puppy dog to
but-
keep her
but
company.
we had to put our feet down, and because we were getting calls at midnight. I got a call at 2:00 in the morning the other day. Someone wanted to talk to me about people speeding on their block, and I was like, "How did you get this number?" Well, you sent me this thing in the mail, and I was like, "Damn, okay, got it." But Joe, are you listening?
I'm listening loud and clear, but
Yes, sir.
I completely understand.
All right, but we're here for the people. Thank you. But we appreciate you guys. But honestly, I have to draw a line sometimes when it comes to the staff, and it's like, don't pick up that phone after these hours. So try to get us to doing normal business hours, and we're going to take care of you guys. If you call, leave a message, we will get back with you. Or you send us an email. It's even better. You have some tracking on that. We're going to take care of you guys. So as usual, it's been great. Just so you guys know, early voting is going to start here real soon, within the next couple of weeks. And Lindsay, Rep Rivera took care of this. He's going to have Lisa Wise at the next council meeting. It's going to be a really good opportunity for you to ask those questions, because everyone keeps calling us and asking us, when am I going to get my absentee ballot? When am I going to get this? What is that happening? We don't know that, the county runs the elections, and the city just takes applications, but the county actually runs the elections. Okay, folks? So let's tune in for that on Tuesday, and let's ask her the hard questions. It's simple as that. Okay?
So I just want to really quick, make it clear. It will be during council, so the public won't be able to ask her questions. But if you have questions you would like to know of the elections office, send them to us, and Rep Morgan will ask them on your behalf.
Exactly.
Because it'll be for the public, but the public won't be able to ask questions because it's a council presentation, if that makes sense.
Got it.
So send them to us, and Rep Morgan can ask them on the dais, and we'll get them answered for you.
Okie doke. You guys are awesome. So enjoy your week, and we'll see you guys here next week. Okay?
5 p.m., same place, same time. Y'all know how to get here, and Tommy Gonzalez will be our guest. So
same bat channel. Bring your baseball bat.
Bye, Beth. Talk to
Bye-bye,
you
guys.
next week.
Good meet.